Hi Sag, it's so good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Chandler and this is your general, intuitive reading for this week. It's Fire Sign Tuesday. This should work for you if you have a Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus in the sign of Sagittarius. And of course, if you're a cross watcher, checking in on a loved one or spying, in other words, feel free to reverse the roles if necessary. There are characteristics that sometimes elude the person or the sign. So, as you guys know, I'm an intuitive empath, and so I tend to feel things. My interpretations of the cards could be slightly altered from the traditional meaning because I have my own kind of communication with the cards, and so this reading may eventually be very specific for someone, okay? So it may not resonate with everyone. Of course, this is a general reading. And for whoever I connect with, if you would like more information, you can go to my website at chandlerchristine.com. It's linked in the description box below. Initially, Sagittarius, I feel just really calm, almost like loose-tongued. Okay, like just really relaxed, right? Okay, so hopefully you guys are feeling that way. But it's just very sturdy, very calm, very steady. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so we have wind and water on the bottom of the deck. So a little bit of a contradictory, paradoxical energy here for you guys, but air is predominantly yours this week. So I really like this, actually. It's a 9, and this is kind of what I'm feeling, is that you're entering a different chapter, all right? The wind doesn't have resistance, which is exactly how your energy feels, just really going with the flow, moving on, leveling up, some seamless interaction here with your manifestations, with the next chapter of your life. The wind is very independent. It's actually an air energy, okay? If we're looking at zodiac signs, this could be Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, and it represents the 4 directions. So, what I'm getting is that we should probably read through the book for this, because it does give a really excellent breakdown of what this energy means. And if you guys like this reading, or this deck rather, let me know and I'll continue to use it. I'm actually pulling out the Mystical Oracle deck, Mystical Shaman Oracle, because I've just been feeling a bit like deeper truth is really necessary this week. Lately, we've sort of been seeing with rose-colored glasses, and those glasses are coming off. The truth is being revealed. And so what you're interested now in, my dear Sagittarius, it's going to be very true to you. Soul-level stuff. The symbol of the wind represents the element of air. It rules communication, thoughts, song, and inspired ideas. It also signifies change with qualities both positive and negative. The wind blows from each of the 4 directions, and there are different qualities bestowed by each. South, carrying a new sense of trust, helping you gently begin to discard habits and parts of you that are no longer needed. West, calling you to more introspection, to a willingness to make final decisions, to let go of attachment and ego desires. North, moving to bring you wisdom and strength. And East, carrying clarity of vision and purpose. Whichever way the wind is blowing for you, the message, which the wind whispers or shouts, is a challenge. It may take courage at first to turn and face the wind, but you will find exaltation in moving toward it and receiving its lessons. Really, really good. Positive change for you, okay? Sag, it's really important that you just follow this natural change in your life. It's easy to tell where the wind is blowing if you're honest about it and if you release the resistance about it. And I think there is communication. I think there's news. I think there's a positive outcome here for you, okay? So I'm excited to see what comes up. We're going to go ahead and move forward with my Lumina Tarot. Revamp the energies a little bit here. Okay. So as we begin with the number 9, it'll be interesting to see what comes up after this as to maybe the changes that are taking place in your life. It does kind of feel like changes in the air, doesn't it? I mean, we're coming upon a solar eclipse next week, which is, I think, in exactly a week. Okay, so 7 days from now, next Tuesday, which will be interesting because your guys' reading will be on the day of the solar eclipse. Check in with that. That could be bringing some interesting energy. But then we also have a new moon in Cancer, okay, which is all about new beginnings and maternal energy. Of course, this wind is sort of bringing through a very feminine energy, okay? And the sun, okay, when we're looking at the 9 and the 1, this is a really interesting chapter in your life that's unfolding, okay? So I think this is really good. Let's see what comes up. Like I said, just really calm energies. Even my cards are in no rush. There's gradual change here, but they're in no rush. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so as the wind would suggest, maybe some of you are feeling a little uprooted, right? With the wind, it's like, all right. There could be, there's maybe a chance that you are actually moving. There could be obviously some changes within the home or family situations, the dynamics there within. The Queen of Pentacles, you know, is all about value, intelligence. She's a very intellectual woman, very smart, and she is the mother energy, okay? She is the mother energy. So you could be assuming a little bit more responsibility with these changes. You could be a little nervous about them, you know, feeling a little uprooted. Let's see what we can't gather from the Queen of Pentacles. That, you know, even further validates the slowness. Like, this process has been a long one, but maybe the changes, you know, within the physical seem overnight, you know. It's interesting the way this is coming up. Okay, Ace of Swords in reverse. Now, if I could get that without a glare. I think that with this Ace of Swords, this is a predominant energy, of course, in your week, with the wind, right, being a 9, and then having the Ace of Swords being a very airy energy, representing a 1. I do feel as though some of you could be questioning the changes, right? Really resistant to them, because the Queen of Pentacles is a very slow-moving, very committed, lasting energy. And then the Ace of Swords is quite literally almost the exact opposite. Totally opposite ends of the deck. And both happen to be in reverse. So I do see that some of you, you know, could be struggling a little bit with how you feel about these changes or what news is actually being carried forth. All right. We see the Magician, which is Mercury, okay, which is communication. Again, what we were discussing with the wind, there's so much air energy in your reading so far. I wouldn't doubt if some of you could be involved with either an earth sign, which is Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, or air, which is, again, Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, okay? And it does show significant new beginnings here, significant beginnings. And with the Ace of Swords, you could be signing a lease, coupled with the Queen of Pentacles, you know, a title, a contract. Needless to say, with it in reverse, I don't feel as if this is actually a bad thing. I feel like it's making you nervous, and so you're kind of trying to cope with all the changes all at once. Okay, intellectually, you know, you're thinking new thoughts. There's a lot of new energy surrounding you, but it could also be uprooting you a little bit. But there's new communication. You could be signing some documents. You could be creating lasting changes just simply through a simple interaction. So it's pretty fast. It could be meaningless in the moment, but it does change things a little bit more long term. Okay, so then with the Four of Swords, you know, this is totally, you're just tired, Okay, you've been through it. This whole new cycle of yours that's unfolding has been energetically draining. And what I will say is, with the Four of Swords, this is my heart card. Okay, you could be in longing, missing someone, feeling uprooted, just simply tired of all of the fast-paced energy surrounding you. Again, when I started, I did feel kind of loose-tongued, like I was just so tired, okay? I was just so tired. But needless to say, let's clarify these cards, okay? Because these are the dominant energies of your week. Let's look at the Queen of Pentacles, all right? Let's clarify the Queen of Pentacles. What does this mean for Sagittarius? What does this mean for Sagittarius? This could be a relationship, you know, if you broke it off with someone. The wind, again, is a lot of change all at once, and you could feel like you're being pulled in all four directions at once, right? So if there was a breakup, there could be a lack of communication. You may be dealing with some outlandish thoughts, all right? Feeling slightly insecure, potentially. But that's for a few of you. That's not for everyone. It's not for everyone, but it is definitely for someone, okay? It is definitely for someone, because I definitely was picking that up. I'm hearing anguish, so feeling restless, like I said, and just really uprooted. You're really having a hard time overcoming this within your mind. Your mental space is really not quiet, okay? And with this wind card, there was a portion of the energy that I didn't read just because it is so long. But of course, I mean, I should know better, but my guides are prompting me to go back and take a look at the extended reading of this, because this is really the invitation or the medicine of this card. When the spirit of the wind comes calling, it's a sign of change. Perhaps you need to change your mind about something. Perhaps an old way of doing things has become automatic, and now that you've gained greater clarity, you can make a new choice. Regardless of whatever the change is, you can expect to be understood and to have clear communication with others at this time. Ideas are solid, and the shift that is being called for is in the highest good of all. So that's the invitation of the wind card. And the medicine says, when wind comes as a medicine, you're being invited to recognize the value of chaos. Windstorms provide necessary chaos to clear the air and spread seeds so plants and trees can take root in new fields. Right now, it may seem as if your world has been turned upside down, but this is a temporary storm that will blow over. Perhaps communication has broken down between you and another, or your many to-do lists are overwhelming you. The medicine is to simplify, slow down, course correct if you need to, and wait out the storm to clean things up. Just know that all storms have great value if you can remain neutral during their course. Greater clarity and good things will come from it all. Remember, this too shall pass. So for whatever reason, I felt really compelled to read some of that for you guys, and especially since I guess we're receiving the Three of Swords. It does seem like there's been great change in one of your lives. You know, this could just be for one person, but needless to say, Sag, since the full moon in your sign, that's been having a great emphasis over relationships, much more than I expected, actually. Through my personal readings, I'm still seeing people, you know, with outbursts and, you know, consequences to their careless actions and, you know, reckless changes or demanding tempers. You know, it all just kind of makes sense, you know, especially for you guys. You're going to be more affected by this than anyone potentially. So the Ten of Pentacles is in reverse, and coupled with the Queen of Pentacles and the Three of Swords, it does kind of seem like there may be one or two of you out there that, you know, have left a long-term relationship. You could be moving, you could be divorcing, you could be finding out something about your partner. This could be an earth sign. But this is loyalty and legacy, okay? And it may feel in this moment that you are losing everything. This is the everything card. You may feel in this moment like you have not got a leg to stand on, when actually, Sag, I see the Magician coming to you just after you have completely surrendered. I see the Magician coming to you just after you have exhausted yourself, potentially, to such an extent where you have no more fight in you, which is this releasing of resistance. So I feel like it's a really specific message for you guys this week. Release the resistance to see the clarity. Release the resistance to gain the edge, all right? Now, this is a very slow-moving process. Of course, this healing is not going to happen overnight. Of course, these things are not going to make sense by tomorrow. But it is coming to you, okay? No one can force the wind. The wind is much more divine than that, okay? Have you ever heard the expression that God is the wind, or God is in the wind? There's some expression like that. And it's because no one can control, contain, or quantify the wind. It just is, okay? And it pushes through things that try to resist it. It will break trees. It will devastate things that stand in its way sometimes. And so it's a force to be reckoned with. It's not controllable. And the coast will only be clear maybe once it's done blowing. Those are the kind of analogies that I'm getting. So I do kind of want to look at, since we're going from the Queen to the 3 to the 10, jumping now to the Ace, this is potentially an undesirable new beginning, or a new beginning that you didn't expect. It's something unwanted or unwarranted, some news. It could be a blessing in disguise. I really want to know more about this because it's aiming straight up to the Wind card. Okay, so heads up, look up, chin up, right? The 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups, interesting. Okay. So the Sun on the bottom of the deck. This boils down to a number 1 as well. 19, of course, down to a 1. But we have the Ace and the 7, which are both unstable numbers, and so that's kind of a good thing because these energies can't last, right? These energies can't last. They're very fleeting energies, but they are confusing energies, both of them, okay? Mentally and emotionally. You just kind of feel like directionless right now. And so the 7 of Cups shows that through this very deep, I will say it, very deep wisdom, you have uncovered something. You've uncovered something. It could be extramarital affairs. It could be third-party situation. And of course, I don't want to put this on you if this isn't your story. If this isn't your energy, don't give your power to a tarot reader. But all I'm saying is I see some heartbreaking because of some news. Or, you know, lack of communication, lack of trust. However you interpret it, it doesn't mean necessarily that there has been infidelity, but just trust issues in general, okay? So the 7 of Cups is needing you to use that very deep wisdom within you to understand why this has happened for you. And I feel with the Wind, and just the sense I'm getting around me, is that you're being protected. You're being protected from something, maybe later down the road. You know, what if you had spent longer with this person, potentially, and really worked on things and dedicated your whole life to this person, and then you find out they did this? You know, if this is that case, then this really sucks. But this is also what is being healed. This is also exactly what God had planned for you. You know, in essence, God, universe, spirit, source, the helpers out there are keeping a close eye out for you. And so, though it may not be ideal, you have to trust the timing of this, because the Wind is never before and is never after it's supposed to be. It is exactly where it's supposed to be all the time. And the wind carries the communication. The wind carries the change. Okay, so I think the energy here is done for the Seven of Cups and the Ace of Swords. Clearly we can see whatever news came your way just really distorted how you were viewing things, your perception of things, came to you as a surprise or unwarranted information. This didn't only hurt your heart, as I see, it did also confuse you and left you pretty directionless. I don't like this feeling for you, Sag. I don't feel that you are deserving of this, Sagittarius. So let's continue on. The Four of Swords and the Magician. Remember, this is the heart closing energy. This is the time for you to rest. This is the time for you to rest because, and I will say in complete sincerity, there is something coming to you, a new beginning. And I don't know if it has to do with this air sign still, or if it has to do with the earth sign still, you know. It could be a water sign as well. Let's just go with this. Let's see where this goes. Clarify the Four of Swords and the Magician for me, please. What does this mean for Sagittarius? Four of Swords and the Magician for me, please. What does this mean for Sagittarius? Should we keep it? Maiden of Wands in reverse. Okay, so this is showing, with the Maiden energy, it's a page energy, okay? And fairly naive, fairly inexperienced, potentially hazardous, okay, energy, because you're feeling a little reckless, and this statistic is coming up in my mind, that when we are depleted, okay, or when we are fatigued, our accuracy goes down 40%. Now, if we're looking at that statistic, and if you are exhausted as I see it, you can expect to be 40% less accurate than you typically are. And so you could be, you know, giving it to this person, you know, really like laying on them, laying it on them. I'm hearing wanting to just unleash your fury on this person. Or a different interpretation of this card could be that, you know, once you are rested, you'll have the ability to redeem yourself. Sorry, my nose is so itchy. You'll have the ability to redeem yourself, but until you're rested, until you've actually contemplated this for long enough to get your bearings, this Maiden of Wands is just going to remain very confused and directionless, okay? So let's continue to clarify. What does the Magician mean for Sagittarius? The Maiden of Wands can also signify short-term travel, short-distance travel, okay, to accomplish this rest, to just get yourself away from the situation. Interesting. Real interesting, okay? If this is a twin flame type of situation, or if you have a loved one, a soulmate that you've recently just come into contact with or broken off with, you'll know if you resonate with this reading. But the Queen of Wands and the King of Pentacles, so we have a very distinctive king and queen, right? They are the couple that we see here. They are you, clearly, as the Queen of Wands, and the king, the Taurus. The Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. So when you become rested, there's going to be a new beginning, and maybe this third-party situation dissolves. Maybe it just kind of goes away. So I guess, Sagittarius, you kind of win if this is what you want. You kind of like, you get the person. But just in my experience, I'd be very careful, because what I see here, you guys are a pretty good match. You know, different elements, different personalities. But I see that you guys have the potential to make it work. We have the star on the bottom of the deck. There's hope here. You know, there's hope here. The Ten of Pentacles worries me, though. It really does, because this is your everything card. Right? Like, if this has happened, if there's lack of communication or maybe some messages that are coming through for you this week, Sag, it's really not going to be fun. And what you stand to lose is really great. So although, you know, you guys may be really tempted to just get back together, it's like so tempting. But remember, the Maiden of Wands is exhausted. She's not rested. She's not thinking clearly. Okay, and this is the separation between the Four of Swords, the Magician, the new beginning and the exhaustion, and going back, the Queen of Wands and the King of Pentacles. She separates these two. She is the bridge, potentially, and she's in reverse. What I will say is that you are completely exhausted. You're completely depleted. You're even, in a sense, and I will put this very lightly, Sagittarius, slightly powerless here. It's not a good feeling. This person has clearly betrayed you. And I'm wondering if they come back to you with such sincerity that you're willing to take them back anyways. And it's because you're exhausted. It's because you don't want to think about what's been going on, maybe. Let's clarify, because I need to know. I need to know. This is too juicy not to. King of Pentacles. Oh, Ten of Wands. So, Ten of Wands in reverse is not a good card to have. We have two tens in reverse, which is ultimately where this is going, or what it's going to accumulate to is not going to be worth all the time, all the work, all the stress. The Ten of Wands, even more specifically, represents your energy, your hard work, trying to accumulate enough respect, notoriety, power, desire, influence, to make this person want you. But the energy itself is really fleeting. It's not lasting. And it's a massive burden in this position. I'll continue to clarify, okay? Ten of Wands. Can we please clarify the Queen and King here? I want something really clear. Should this person continue in this relationship? Should this person be trusted? Should they be given another chance? Too many cards. Hold on. They just spilled all over the deck. Should they get back together? Can this person be trusted for Sagittarius? Should they get back together? Can this person be trusted for Sagittarius? Should they get back together? Can this person be trusted for Sagittarius? Very slow-moving energy, so I'm afraid that when you get back with this person, that you'll be with them for a long time. And this is sort of what the Ten of Pentacles is indicating, that there is a lot of effort that goes into this after all. There are a lot of years, potentially, and there could already be quite a few years between you guys. But I really want just one clear card for you guys. So this is pretty clear. Two of Pentacles. Not clear, really. There's an indecision here. There's a lack of commitment here. Wavering. Not a really positive outcome, actually, for the moon. Also carries a lot of secrets, right? Secrets, dark side of the moon. This person may have a very extensive nightlife. with the moon, it's kind of like what they do in the shadows type of stuff. The Two of Pentacles and Ten of Wands, yeah, I feel kind of like this is a big decision because it's not just an intellectual decision, right? The wind, the carried communication, the messages, the intuition, even more specifically, guidance, right? It's making you so confused. You don't know who to trust. You feel defeated, and I don't like this energy for you, actually. And it feels like the only thing that you're really happy about is having this person. But what comes with this person makes you unhappy too. They're indecisive. They are not committed. They're driven by passion or sex. They definitely see you as a tool or an object. And they have secrets that are not being disclosed. So this reading has already, gone far too long. As for what I like, but I think that a lot of you guys may need this. This message definitely was needing to be delivered to someone. So I hope that whoever resonates with this really uses this, contemplate this week. There is still some things to uncover, okay? Little mischievous type of energy here, mischievous, and yeah. So let me know if you need clarity. Go to my website if you need a reading, and I would be happy to help you there. Good luck, Sagittarius. I really feel strongly that you just need to take a step back, rest, rejuvenate, maybe even start anew, somewhere else. Remove yourself from the situation altogether, and then we'll see what happens, okay? Love you guys. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.